This weekend, I was at the Women's Health Expo in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and I interviewed women as they walked by my booth, asking them what three things caused them stress in their lives. The number one item was finances. The number two item was work. I find this pretty interesting because in today's Wall Street Journal and the Personal Journal, there's actually an article called Office Stress, His and Hers. The American Psychological Association, in a survey of over 1,500 people, found that 1/3 of workers experience chronic stress due to their work. Chronic stress. That means there's some really serious stress going on here. It also reported that there are differences between men and women, which in my courses I share. But it's fascinating to me that in this article it says that men tend to go into fight or flight, and women tend to back up and tend to friendships and to caring for others. But this is self-reporting to psychologists, which I find is kind of interesting because in my practice with stress management, when I'm working with my clients, I find that the women go into fight or flight just as much. However, it may take a little different spin. Women, in fact, one woman mentioned in this article, will often snap at their kids, or snap at the dog or the pets or their husband. They're really not thinking very clearly, and so they'll say things and do things that they really don't mean. And that to me doesn't mean that they're actually caring for the people that they love. It means that they're really in that threatened mode. So maybe that women are pulling back more than men. Men may be more extroverted in their fight or flight. They may really want to fight. In fact, a lot of the times with my male clients, their annoyances move into anger more quickly than women. Women may feel more anxious, but really I don't see it along gender lines. Each person that I have worked with experiences anger, anxiety, annoyance, and feelings of being ashamed very uniquely, very differently. There's no cookie cutter for genders. What is different between men and women is that when women release these stress hormones, it takes their bodies up to 24 hours to dissipate those hormones out of their cells. For men, it's up to 9 hours. That's a huge biological difference. That's why if a man and a woman have an argument, the next morning the woman may still be in the argument, and the fellow's just fine. He doesn't understand why she's still upset. Well, biologically, she's still in the argument. Her cells are still in the argument. So that's why there's this huge biological difference, and it really creates a lot of disharmony between men and women when they don't understand what's really happening. My husband's the first to admit that when I go into releasing those hormones, I am definitely in fight or flight. And I don't like me then. I'm not very nice. And I'm the first to admit it now because I can see so much more clearly how I used to be when I was under the influence of stress hormones. So help yourself stay out of being under the influence of stress hormones by working with pressure-free living. That is what I teach you. I show you how to stop the release of these stress hormones before your heart rate can get high enough to release them. So you literally not only just reduce stress, you eliminate stress. You don't have to feel it anymore because it's not going to course through your veins and physically do damage to you in so many ways. Stress leads to chronic disease. It causes chronic disease, Alzheimer's, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart attacks, cancers. All of these things are caused by stress. So give yourself a break. Come to Pressure Free Living, work with me, take one of my e-courses, go to www.pressure-free.com. It can really make a huge transformation in your life, and I can't wait to share my course with you. I'm Elle with Pressure Free Living.